رمضان جئت فمرحبا بك يا ربيع الأتقياء رمضان يا شهر المحبة والتسامح والإخاء.
Welcome back to Suhoor with Ashrafi. You are watching this show, Alhamdulillah, brought to you by Mazhar-e-Islam Academy. Those of you who have just joined us, we are discussing a very important topic of parents. Inshallah, we will ask our guest that as we are speaking about parents, what are their hukuk, their rights, inshallah?
No, as far as the hukuk, the rights are concerned, in hukuk al-ibad, the most important rights are the rights of our parents, the rights of our mothers, the rights of our fathers, as far as the beautiful deen of Islam is concerned. And more so, a person has to live their lives with this mindset that everything that I have in my life, it is through the blessings of my parents, it is through the du'as of my parents. A person who still has their parents alive, their doors to Jannah is still open. So subhanallah, so a person must go to their parents, ask for du'as, seek for du'as from their parents. There is a beautiful story of Sayyidina Uwais al-Qarani radiallahu ta'ala anhu, who did not have an opportunity to see Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, but this great personality, he obtained such high status that today we are speaking about him. And not only are we speaking about him, but Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentioned his coming. Nabi sallallahu spoke about him. And what made him so unique, that he did not see Nabi sallallahu wasallam and Nabi sallam spoke about him, it is because of the khidmat, the service that he did to his parents. That khidmah, that services that he did to his parents elevated him so high that the best of creation, Afdalul Bashar, Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, speaks of his coming. And why? Because Uwais al-Qarani was that personality whom every time he wanted to go to Medina Munawwara, who imagine in the time, today in our lives, in the times that we live in today, we live our lives to take the flight and go to Medina Munawwara. But Uwais al-Qarani lived in a time where he could physically leave his town and go and visit Medina Munawwara, go and see the beautiful face of Rasulullah sallallahu. But Uwais al-Qarani, every time he wanted to leave his town and go and see, be in the suhbah of Rasulullah sallallahu, his mother used to say to him that, "Beta, oh my son, who's going to look after me? Oh my son, if you leave and go, who's going to take care of me?" And Uwais al-Qarani stayed in his town, made khidmat of his mother. And his mother used to make dua for him. And the dua was of his mother, that khidmah, the service that he did for his mother. Nabi Sallam says, Abdullah Aqha sitting in Medina Munawwara, he says to Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab, Sayyidina Moulana Ali and the Sahaba, that a person is going to come to Medina. He's going to be from Qaran, and his name is Uwais. When he comes, ask him to make dua for the ummah. Imagine, they are Sahaba, Umar bin Khattab, Moulana Ali. These are great personalities. And Abdullah Aqha says to them that a person is going to come, and when this person comes, ask him to make dua for the ummah. Imagine the blessed lips of Abdullah Aqha uttering this statement, that ask him to make dua for my ummah. Ask Sahaba ask him to make dua for Sahaba. Why and why? Because kana abarra nas, he was good towards his mother. He showed that khidmah, he showed shafqat, he showed love to his mother. And because of showing love towards his mother, Abdullah Aqha says to the Sahaba, to Umar bin Khattab, to Mawla Ali, that when you meet Uwais, ask him to make dua for the ummah. So that shows that when one makes khidmah of their parents, when a child serves their parents, they get du'as, they get supplications from their parents. And practically, in the modern times as well, in these times that we live in, I have met many business people, and there are many viewers that are watching this show today that will also have similar experiences. I have come across people that are not brilliant people, but Allah has blessed them with vast amounts of wealth. And when you sit down and discuss with them, they will tell you that it is through the khidmah, it is through the service of my parents that Allah has blessed me today. And many business individuals in our communities, people that have went to school with them, people that sat in their suhbah, they will always tell you that he was not the most brilliant person. There are many people who are doctors, engineers. Their classmates will tell you that they were not the most brilliant people. But that same people, when you study their background, you would find that it is the khidmat of their parents, it is the du'as of their mothers, it is the du'as of their fathers that have lifted them up and taken them right to the top. So if we want success, success is in serving our parents, making khidmah of our parents, and never be a child that gets any type of bad dua, that gets a dua, a bad dua, bad utterances that comes from your parents against you. Because once they lift their hands and supplicate against you, that dua will lead to your destruction. And I always say, Moulana, to the parents as well, no matter how angry we can be, our parents sitting for sihri today, no matter how angry you can be, no matter how your child makes you angry, never ever make a dua against them, because your du'as are answered in the court of the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Beautiful, beautiful. And we have, as Moulana Sahib has also mentioned, that we have seen people succeed just because of their parents' dua. And the duas of parents don't only help us in this world, but it also helps us in the hereafter. Likewise, as Moulana Sahib mentioned, that even their bad dua, the dua against their children, is also accepted. So, we need to always make sure that we try and serve them to make dua for us. There is one thing, Hazrat Moulana Sahib, that, a child asks the parents to make dua. But there is sometimes, Hazrat, the dua comes out from the heart. And that comes out once you do something good. Like Moulana Sahib is a teacher as well, alhamdulillah, is my ustad, Allah bless you, inshallah. So there is many students in the class, and a lot of students do the work, you get happy. But there is one specific student there who does work properly, does khidmat, Allahu Akbar, then the dua of the teacher just comes out naturally. And as soon as the name comes out of the student, the smile comes out. Likewise, there are many children a parent can have, but there is one child out there who's outstanding. Allahu Akbar, as soon as the name comes out, the father starts smiling. So we need to become that child, that when our parents hear about us, speak about us, there is always a smile on their face, and not get said that, who are you talking about,
the greatest success story in South Africa, as far as the deen of Islam is concerned, is none other than the story of Hazrat Sufi Sahib, rahmatullahi ta'ala, a personality, an ambassador of the deen in South Africa, a person who sacrificed so much for this beautiful deen, came to South Africa, established centers all over across South Africa, even went into neighboring countries and established centers where till today the promotion of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is still taking place. This is a great success story. Hazrat Sufi Sahib rahmatullahi ta'ala, Hazrat Sufi Sahib rahmatullahi ta'ala, up to till today, he served his mother to such an extent that towards the final moments of his life, in his wasiyah, one of the instructions that he gave is that when you bury me at a place where my legs will not face my mother's head.
Allah, 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 Allah.
Meaning, bury me in such a way that make sure that when you are burying me, that you fulfill all levels of adab, that no body part of mine must be disrespectful towards my mother. And Hazrat Sufi Sahib rahmatullahi ta'ala, he made khidmah of his parents, and the success of Hazrat Sufi Sahib rahmatullahi ta'ala was because of the khidmah that he did towards his parents, to an extent that today, when you visit Hazrat Sufi Sahib rahmatullahi ta'ala, where he is buried, who's buried next to him? It's his mother. So every time you visit the grave of Hazrat Sufi Sahib rahmatullahi ta'ala, it's a message to you to say that, see who's resting next to me. What is your relationship with your parents? What is your relationship with your parents? How connected are you to your parents? I served them my entire life, and today I'm resting next to them. The question is, if you claim your love for Hazrat Sufi Sahib rahmatullahi ta'ala, what is your relation with your parents? And all the awliya Allah, you'd find that the stories behind their success was the du'as of their parents. It is the khidmah, the service that they did towards their parents. So we as well today, if we want success is in serving our parents, making khidmah of our parents, getting those du'as from them. And those du'as will open all doors. I'm not so good in Urdu, but they say, Mila hai jo bhi mila, ma teri dua se. A person has to believe that everything that I have, it is through the blessings and du'as of my parents.
Subhanallah. And the dua must come out from the heart directly, inshallah. And about the father also, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said that there are 3 people whose duas are not rejected, Ma'asab. One of them, he said, is a traveler.
Subhanallah.
Allahu Akbar. And the other one is the one who is being oppressed when he makes dua. And the third one is the dua of a father as well. And Allahu Akbar, Ma'asab, when we are in trouble, great difficulty, we try and look for sources out there. Who can help me out? Let me call this contact, that contact. But the greatest personality who can help us through dua, it is our parents in our house. And we need to go nowhere but and greet our parents and ask them to make dua. Closing the program, inshallah, last few minutes, I would like to ask Mawasab, inshallah, some nasiha for us, inshallah.
Mawasab, alhamdulillah, especially to our viewers that are watching this show in this blessed month of Ramadan al-Kareem. The question, the message of today is very simple. And the message is, how connected are you to your parents? Today you can be a hero to the outside world. But if you're a zero in the eyes of your parents, then believe you me, you'll be a zero in the year after as well. Because each of us, each and every person, if you want success, if you want to be successful in this world, successful in the year after, then the door to that day is in the khidmah and service towards one's parents. It's a sad reality that in South Africa today, there are Muslim institutions that are called old age homes. And by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, alhamdulillah, I am part of this institution where we are running an old age home. And when you speak to the parents that are admitted into these institutions, every mother that is in this institution has a story to tell. Every father has a story to tell. And when you listen to their stories, they tell you the stories with tears flowing on their eyes. And when they tell you the stories, they tell the stories with their voices shaking. And the voices are shaking because of the pain that these stories carry. And when you hear them, when you hear their voices, when you see the pain that they narrate the stories with, it brings tears to your eyes as well. And these are realities. There is a mother in the month of Ramadan thrown out on the streets. Why and why? Because she complained about the samosa, the triangular samosa. And based upon that day, the son kicks the mother out of the house. There are stories where a mother prepares samosas before Ramadan. She makes preparation of the samosas. And when Ramadan comes, she stands in the kitchen, she fries it. And the children, the grandchildren, everyone eats. And the mother is kept one side. They have become slaves in our homes. They have become slaves in their homes. And these are realities. These are topics that we should discuss. It is time that these topics are put out in public platforms. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all tawfiq and ability that if we have parents that are still alive, serve your parents. Yes, it's a reality. There are 2 sides to a story. The children have a story to tell in the same manner that the parents have a story to tell. But I ask you, yes, they get old, they become grumpy, they become demanding, they have issues. Some children will even tell you they become troublesome. They cause problems, yes. They're at that age where loneliness is striking them. They're at that age where a lot of things are not in their control anymore. But does that give us a reason enough for us to throw them out? There was a time where we were hopeless as well. There was a time where all we needed was our parents. They never gave up on us. They were there for us. They stood with us. They supported us. They never gave up on us. A child who's sick, a mother will run doctor to doctor to make sure that the child receives necessary treatment. But when they reach that old age, where they are now hopeless, where they are dependent upon us, it is a time where we feel that it is enough. we've had enough, I can't take it anymore. And we kick them out. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us as an ummah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us as Muslims. May Allah take us back to the teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Jazakumullahu khair, Mawasa, for such a beautiful, impactful nasiha. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and allow us, inshallah, to practice upon whatever advices Mawasa has given us. Inshallah, dear viewers, see you tomorrow, inshallah. We thank each and every one of you. Take care of yourself and remember us in your pious du'as, inshallah.
رمضان جئت فمرحبا بك يا ربيع الأتقياء رمضان يا شهر المحبة والتسامح والإخاء